Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Bothell Neighbors of Business podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, and today I'm very excited to be hanging out at a local hot spot. I mean, it's got to be a local favorite for most people, I feel like, that I talk to in the Bothell area, the Cottage, and I'm here with the manager, Madison Wean. Madison, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I love this.
First off, you want to tell us just a little bit about the Cottage, kind of how it got started? I know we were talking before we started. You said 2017 was when you opened, but tell me a little bit more about how that came to be and what you guys do here.
Yeah, well, like as you were asking before we even started, like you were saying, wasn't this something different before? Like just kind of more of a coffee shop and a little bit more of a different concept. And we did. We started as more of a different concept of just an all-day cafe, light bites. Yeah. We had a bakery in here that was using our space in our kitchen. And so we didn't have the whole kind of restaurant that we wanted to be and needed to be. And then I was brought on a month into opening.
That's last minute. That's right before for a restaurant. That seems so late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
It's been we've kind of rolled with the punches all through this. Yeah. And that includes COVID, you know, that was a pivot and roll with it. And that's what I feel that we've always done and who we've always been. And so when I first got brought on, it was like, oh, we're going to do lunch. Oh, we're going to do dinner. This is what we're going to do. And that's just how we've always evolved and come to be. And it was the community saying, hey, we want to do lunch. Hey, we want to see dinner. We want to see doing this and that. Yeah. And so that's what we started to do. And Matt and Val Quest, they're the founders, and they have a coffee company called Quest Coffee. Okay. And they wanted to showcase their coffee company in their neighborhood.
Cool.
Yeah, they live in Bothell. Their kids go to school in Bothell. And so they wanted to have a little spot in Bothell where they could bring coffee in and do that. Cool. And so that's how it all got started.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things that strikes you, I think, right as you walk in is it's such a cozy vibe. I don't know that there's any other places in the area that are really quite like this, that are just as warm, as inviting, as relaxing as the Cottage. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was designed that way.
Yeah.
That's how it was all designed to be that way. It's like to feel in your living room, but you're out, and you can bring your friends here and you can bring your girlfriends, bring a date.
Come on.
Yeah, the Cottage is meant to be whatever you want it to be and however you want it to be. So if you want to come in and just be casual and just have a quick little lunch or a quick dinner, a quick happy hour, do it. If you want to come in for a date night, listen to some live music and be here for a hot minute, do it. It's whatever you want it to be.
I love that. So, well, let's maybe talk a little bit more about that. What are kind of some of the things that are unique about the Cottage from other, types of restaurants that you see, or maybe other restaurants kind of in the area? I know you guys have a lot of different events, and I feel like I've heard about tastings and different things, live music, and tell me a little bit more about some of that stuff.
Yeah, so we're always trying to do something different, something fun. Yeah. Trying to always captivate the audience, I feel. And if you aren't always doing something, then you're kind of falling stagnant, you know? So every Tuesday we do a break-even bottle, rare, different, unique liquors. It could be tequila, it could be whiskey, it could be scotch. We've done gin, we've done vodka. Okay. It could be anything. And we sell it at cost. So you can order it neat, you can order it on the rock, and you can try something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's just different.
Yeah.
And then Wednesdays, we bring in a different winery every Wednesday and do a tasting. So it's 3 tastes for $10. And we only do local wineries. Okay. And even our wine list, it changes up all the time. Yeah. Always trying to stay on top of that. But it's, we try to keep it boutique local wineries. Yeah. And then Thursday's all night happy hour, and Friday and Saturday is live music. Yeah. So local musicians, sometimes they're from out of town and out of state. Sure. But we try to cycle through all of the local musicians and just try to have really fun, different talent in here at all times.
Very cool. I love that. that.
Plus all the different events that we do. Like we were just talking about our stock your cellar case sale that we had last Monday. We had oysters and hummus and cheese and charcuterie. And we just did a big blowout sale with 6 different wineries. And we had a bunch of winemakers and stuff in here and selling wine. And we're going to do that again in the fall. And last week, we actually had another event too. We did a brunch pairing with La Cole. And so we went to La Cole and we did 4 wines and 4 different brunch pairings with it.
Yeah.
And we sold a bunch of tickets to that. And we have another one coming up on May 18th for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And do you guys do like private events and things as well, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you can book out the space. You can do the whole space, or you can do just the terrace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. What are some things that people use that for, like corporate events or family parties, or sky's the limit?
Yeah. I mean, really, sky's the limit. We've done so many different things.
Cool.
But a lot of corporate events, a lot of baby showers, a lot of wedding rehearsals.
You do catering too, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, catering. A lot of off-site catering, a lot of pickup catering. We have a nice, decent catering menu. So all the different kinds of events.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the menu. I'm glad you brought that up. What are some things that are kind of on the menu right now that you're loving and excited about?
Oh, man. It changes all the time.
Yeah.
So our special this last week was a lamb and Wagyu beef shepherd's pie.
Ooh.
So that was really good.
Yeah.
Especially for all the rain and wind that we had. The hazelnut prawns is a staple on our menu. That's awesome. Chicken pot pie. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That one will be leaving soon as we get into the warmer kind of days and months.
Not exactly chicken pot pie weather coming up for the summer. So
No, it has to change soon. We do have spring menu coming up in the next couple of weeks. So
awesome.
Things will be changing, but we have a great butternut salad. That's fantastic. It's light and refreshing, and a smoked salmon dip that I love, and it comes out hot, but it's got this great flavor with the local smoked salmon. So it's awesome. We try to be as local as possible as much as we possibly can. So anything that we can get in our community, we try to do that first.
Yeah.
That's our number one priority, is trying to stay inclusive in our community.
Yeah.
So we use vendors like E.C. Wilson. They're a butcher out of Briar. And so they get everything local, and they do all their meat cutting in-house and all of that.
Awesome.
Which is awesome, yeah. And then we have Mom's Microgreens. We get all of our microgreens from there. Cool. Charlie's Produce, Merlino's. They're all just small, hyper-local people that we use, and that's pretty much who we use.
I love that.
And then all of our wine, beer, and spirits, all small and local.
Yeah.
Like if you look at our tap list, it's all going to be just micro little breweries right around here.
Yeah.
And some people are like, oh, can I get a Corona or something like that? I'm like, oh, let's try something else.
If you must, I can go to the store and get you one or something. You carry Corona in stock?
We don't, no.
Oh, okay, I was gonna
We don't, because we only do the small little guys, you know? And so sometimes it's really cool, because then it's not stuff you would normally see and that you would normally have, and then you get to experience people that you wouldn't normally know. And then you'd be like, oh, I got to go check out their brewery, or I got to go check out their winery.
Yeah.
And like, I do have some wine tasting cards on hand, and I'll be like, hey, have you ever been here? Here's where you should go check them out on a weekend or something.
Yeah. I love that. You know, one of the things I'm continually amazed by is just the fact that, and actually kind of one of the reasons I started this, whole podcast thing is that, I've lived in sort of mostly in Kirkland kind of growing up, but around Bothell here for the last, 10 or 12 years or so. And I drive by places still all the time that I'm like, I never even knew that was there. Like, what is this place? And I'll come to find out, and it's like, oh yeah, it's been there for 35 years or something. And so it's cool to see and hear, you talk about the menu and just the different local places, from wines to breweries to, produce and your butcher, that are right in our own backyard, and get to all kind of come together and be a part of people's everyday lives like that. And I think I don't always remember to think of just the robust community that we have just right in our own backyard here. So it's cool. It's cool.
It's fun, our great little community that we have, and you just don't always think about all the different little pieces and people that you have that can all come together. And part of that is our chamber, our Bothell-Kenmore chamber brings all those people together a lot, and that's how you meet a lot of these people.
Yeah. I love that. You'd mentioned a little bit earlier about the owners. They live in Bothell, wanted to really be kind of rooted in the community here. Love that. Are there any areas where the cottage is kind of involved in the local community, maybe local causes you support, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we are huge supporters, and our number one charity is the North Shore Schools Foundation.
Awesome.
So anytime that we have a donation to support or a cause, like last year we went and did a meatball competition with It was K. Smith Vintners and Charles Smith Vintners. And so we actually won the meatball competition. So we beat out like Walla Walla Steak, Terratova, Daniel's Broiler.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's quite a list.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
We had a great time. And we won $10,000 to a charity of our choice. And so it went to North Shore Schools Foundation.
Very cool.
And so we're hoping to do it again this year. They haven't confirmed or denied yet. So last year was their 8th annual. So we're hoping for a 9th annual. They had a little change in hands this year. So things are up in the air a little bit. But anytime that we can do a donation or that we can support a cause or anything like that, we want to be able to support them. They do so much for the community. They show up for the community.
Yeah.
They are just awesome group. And they're, our kids are the ones that are our future. And so, I mean, I have a 20-year-old stepson. And so be able to support him and to do that is great to be able to push through.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. I know one of the things that is a big priority for so many people that are moving into this area is our great schools. We have a reputation, North Shore Schools as being a really strong district. And so it's cool to see you guys supporting that way. I love that.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about Bothell. One of the questions I like to ask is this, kind of a fun one, but what is the last place you visited for the first time? So kind of your most recent first time experience with the local kind of business here in Bothell.
Yeah, it was Side Hustle, actually.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Tell me about that, and maybe for people listening or watching that aren't familiar with it. What's Side Hustle? Side
Hustle is a new restaurant, and they actually have a speakeasy too. And it opened up over in the new Alexan building, so that new apartment building, just like a half a block over or something.
Wow.
Bailey, the manager, is awesome.
Cool.
She's rad. It's owned by Bellevue Brewing, so they're another local company that's coming in there. It's nice to have another restaurant down here. Just brings more people, builds more community.
Totally.
They have all local, beer, wine, spirits, and it's a really cool spot.
Cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I hope they're going to thrive. And they have cool, different, inventive food. It's kind of like a different take on European food, like gougères. They had a shepherd's pie. Their bread pudding was phenomenal.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love that place. That was great. And I hope more people go to it.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out. So you said Sidekick.
Side Hustle.
Side Hustle. Okay.
Yeah.
I always think Sidekick, that coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
Also
Which
good.
Is
also
great.
good. Yes. We like that.
I love that place.
Okay. Side Hustle. We'll add that to the list. And so mine, I had not too long ago, last month actually, I visited Zulu's for the first time. I'm not a hardcore. I do like board games, but I have young kids, and so it's hard to, really get out and do that sort of stuff right now. But have a couple buddies that I get together with once a month, and that was on the list. And it's such a cool place.
It's so cool.
Bigger than you would think from the outside. It's quite large, very spacious.
Well, they remodeled it, I think, during COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
And they really expanded. And then they were it allowed them to expand their food menu, and they are the nicest people that own it.
Cool.
Yeah. And they actually expanded out into Linwood, too.
I heard that, yes.
Yeah.
My wife works over there, and she mentioned it to me. But have they opened their spot over there yet? Okay.
They've been there at least 6 months, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love board games. We play cribbage all the time.
Yep.
So that's like our go-to.
Yep.
But man, I love Zulu's. They have great ahi nachos.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't try the food when we went, so I need to do that next time.
Yeah.
Because it's it's part of the experience. But no, it's a cool place for sure. So I'm glad I made a visit, and I'll add Side Hustle to my list. So on the next episode, I can report back about that. So, what are some? Because I know you don't live in Bothell, right?
I don't.
You're a little further up north.
Yeah, I live in Mukilteo.
Okay. Oh, so not too far. It's pretty close. But if you were to meander down here, what are some of your kind of favorite places and events and things to do here?
Yeah, I mean, down here a lot.
Yeah. Of course.
We like to go, my husband and I, we like to go to the Hop and Hound. That place is great. We have a dog, a golden retriever. Oh. Her name's Sauvignon Blanc. Love her to death.
Love that.
Yes. So any place that's outdoor, that kind of stuff. Love going to Hop and Hound. That place is awesome. Tahoya, teriyaki, if I'm taking some food home to go.
Okay. Where is Tahoya? I don't know if I know about that one.
Canyon Park.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Teriyaki with a twist.
It's sort of a Korean fusion.
Yes. With like some Brazilian kind of. Yep. Their food is phenomenal.
It is.
And Vivian, the manager owner, she's fantastic, the nicest ever.
Yes.
And they're just killing it. Yeah. They're doing a great job.
Oh, yeah. I've been there a few times. It's fabulous. Really, really good. And unique. I've never seen anything quite like it.
No.
Yeah. That's really cool. Were they in a different location as a different place, like across the street before, right?
Yeah, and they lost their lease. That's where they were, and I believe it was Teriyaki Plus.
That sounds right.
I want to say that.
They're by the Shell station over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they lost their lease, and then that was her parents, and then her and her sisters, I believe, opened up this place.
Okay.
And it's light and fresh and beautiful and stuff, and they do pop-ups with different artisans and that, and it's just so fun.
It's a great spot. It really is.
Yeah.
And the food's, to die for.
It's fire. They do like this cilantro sauce on it that is just so good.
Yep. I've had that. I've had it and I will have it again.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So, so I know you kind of mentioned the chamber a little bit, and you're currently serving as the chair of the chamber. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm the president. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your work there and what's kind of been the most fulfilling part of that role for you. You've been in that for about a year. Is that right?
Well, yeah. I kind of fell into it on accident.
I see.
I was the vice president, and then Ryan Mills resigned because he moved to Arizona in June.
It's a good reason. That's fair.
Yeah. And then, so I stepped in as acting president, and then I was voted in as full president because then I was interim. Yeah. So then as full president in December.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So riff on that a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what's kind of been the a highlight of that experience for you, and it could be during your time as president, or maybe just kind of being a part of the chamber over the years. One of the things that I've loved, I've visited the chamber several times, and I just love the really supportive community that there is. Obviously it's great to just get to meet people that are in your own backyard, working in their own business. But it's a great community. But what's your experience been like? Other than obviously it's been great for you too, I'm sure. But tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I wanted to be on the board because I've always been so supportive of the chamber. Sure. Ever since we have opened here, we have been part of the chamber. And we have gone to the meetings, we have shown up, as much as possible. Restaurant hours are hard.
It's
I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely.
But if we can go to a breakfast, if we can go to a luncheon, if we can go to an after hours, anything that we can do to show up is great because it's great networking. It helps get your name out there, but it's great networking for other businesses. And then you can get talking and you can bring other people around. We had an after hours event at the chamber office, which is just across the parking lot. And there was about 30 people that showed up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And we try to sponsor it as much as possible, bring some wine, bring some food whenever we can. And that's the important part about being the president, is trying to show up as much as possible and trying to help and support. And my role as the president is to help support the executive director, Sandra Lee, as much as possible. So you saw her just a little bit ago. She wandered in here.
Yeah.
And so it's, if she needs help with something, then I'm kind of her sounding board. And if, she needs help navigating whatever, I'm there to support her. And I'm there to support the staff if they need something. And so it's like on Saturday, we went to the Rotary auction. Yeah. The Rotary needed help, and they wanted us to show up, and we all showed up.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great event. So
Very
fun.
Cool. Yeah. Where was it? Tell us a little bit about
it. At McMiniman's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was out of this world themed. The band was phenomenal.
Cool.
Yeah. Everybody was dancing all night. It was really fun.
Awesome.
A lot of great businesses donated. And we just they raised, I want to say, almost $20,000 for the North Shore Schools Foundation.
That's incredible. Okay. Win.
Yeah.
Wins across the board. I love it.
And Rotary is another great way to get involved in Bothell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. You mentioned sort of the evolution of the cottage, and particularly kind of even through COVID. I'd love to kind of maybe talk about some of that a little bit. Obviously, COVID was a really challenging season for everyone in their own way, and small businesses in particular, really faced a lot of challenges there. But maybe even kind of fast forwarding a little bit here to 2025, as we're kind of a couple months into a new year now. What are some of what you would say maybe the biggest challenges of running a local small business these days?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have a list. There are so many different things. There's so much economic uncertainty.
Yeah.
There's, with everything that's going on, the promise or unpromise of a recession. We don't know if that's going to happen or not happen. Everybody's just a little bit tighter with their pocketbooks, and they're looking at every little penny, which I don't blame them. Everybody's doing it. So it's a little bit harder. So everybody's a little bit more looking at everything. And so I want to say everything's scrutinized a little bit more.
Sure.
So if it's not absolutely perfect, you're kind of picked apart a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's hard on a small business.
Yeah.
And so you see it in the reviews a lot too.
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't like something 110%, then they will rip you apart for it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean, you didn't tell us, you didn't say anything.
Sure.
Give us a chance,
Yeah. No.
So that's hard. And it wasn't that it was bad or that they didn't not enjoy it. It just wasn't out of this world.
Yeah.
And so it's a hard thing in that way. So that's one of the things. Rising costs.
Yeah.
Eggs.
Everything's more expensive than it was.
Just even eggs. You know how much eggs we go through?
How many do you go through in a day?
In a day, I don't know. It varies by day.
Sure.
We go through 10 cases a week.
10 and how many eggs are in a case?
Oh my God. 100. No, more than that. I'll have to ask Chef Thomas again. But it's a huge box.
Okay.
It's a huge box.
And you go through 10 of them in a week?
In a week.
That's wild.
They are $150 a case right now.
That's crazy. And what were they 6 months ago?
6 months ago?
Probably half that.
$40, so a third of that.
Yeah.
Less than a third of that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is wild.
And we're doing whatever we can to not increase prices because we get that everybody's going through it. And we don't want to have to pass that off to our guests if we're trying not to, And that's the hardest thing is that we understand it. But we have to where we can,
Yeah.
Labor.
Yeah.
Minimum wage goes up every single year.
Yeah.
Astronomically.
Yep.
Trying to compete with the Seattle minimum wage is different than Bothell minimum wage.
Yep.
How far are we from Seattle? 6.8 miles.
Yep.
So it's if you have, your back of house especially wants to drive down to Seattle and get paid almost double sometimes than here, it's different and it's hard and you can't compete with that unless you want your prices to be double.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22 a lot.
Yeah. It's a tough thing for sure.
So your hands are like almost tied and you're trying to compete with Seattle, labor prices when you're not too far.
Yeah.
And you feel for Seattle restaurants too. And you talking to Seattle restaurant owners and you're just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Because that's hard.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. I've never been in your shoes, but I did work about 8 years in hospitality, kind of through college and for a few years beyond, a couple different restaurants. And it's a tough business. It's a really tough business. Margins are usually pretty tight. And, there's so many things, like you mentioned, cost of goods or labor that can easily balloon your costs that are, largely out of your control too. And so being able to, weather those storms and work through those things without raising costs or doing so as little as you can is a really tough balance to strike.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's always trying to find that just right in that equal, and it's hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's hard too, because, you mentioned people kind of scrutinize expenses and, for most people, going out to eat or something like this is probably something that, they'd view as pretty optional, something that's easy to kind of dial back on. And so, obviously, wanting to create an experience that feels like a good value to people too. And I know you guys do that, but I can't imagine. It's a tough seat to sit in, the one that you do. So,
and that's what we're always trying to do. We are always trying to make it a great experience. And we totally get that dining out it's a privilege.
Yeah.
It is something that not everybody can do. So if you can come in and eat, it is an extra expense and it is something special. And so we want to make it special.
Yeah.
So it's like if you come in and you are having a birthday, then we put a sparkler in and, we do try to celebrate it up. And
love it.
We're always trying to amp it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Take it to the next degree.
Yeah.
So that's some of the things. I mean, we don't deal with a lot of labor shortages.
Sure.
We have a really, really good retention on labor and on people.
Cool.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We love our staff. Our staff loves us. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. We have a killer team.
Yeah.
An absolute amazing team.
Cool.
And we are really blessed in that way.
Awesome.
So we're really happy with that. I mean, competition is always something.
Sure.
But I believe that, like I just talked about side hustle, having more restaurants down here actually brings more people.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as competition. I just believe in that it brings more people.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about perception, how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're an awesome asset to Bothell.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it's competition.
Totally.
I think if there was just another place that popped up just like the Cottage right around the corner, then it would be a different story.
Sure,
but that's different.
You've definitely got a corner of the block here, and also a corner of the market with just the specific niche that you fill. So it's been cool to see. You mentioned sort of more people coming with the development in downtown Bothell. There's been so much. These apartment buildings just across the street from us over here. And it's been really cool to see all the other kind of businesses springing up to kind of support that. And I love that. I love that mindset that you have. And something that I've been reminded of in my life and my business the last couple of years as well, is that there is plenty of business out there. There's a lot of people that need what you do and are interested in, that want to partake. And so, having not a scarcity mindset, but an abundance mindset, that there's room for more people.
There's always room for more.
I think something that will serve you well, and I think is a huge win for you and everybody. And so I think that's cool.
Yeah, everything's always about mindset. So if you look at it in negative, then you're going to get a negative. If you look at it in positive, you're going to get positive.
Yep.
So that's how I see it. At
Yeah,
least.
no, I think you're right. So kind of circle back to COVID a little bit. I'd be curious about some of those pivots that you guys made during that season. We talked about earlier how it was a big season of change for a lot of people and a lot of businesses. And how did you guys kind of work through some of that in real time as that was happening?
Well, it was a lot. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The first month was very uncertain, especially as a restaurant, because you were allowed to be open, but it's essential but not essential.
Yeah.
There was a lot of places that just closed up.
Yeah.
And so Matt, Val, and I sat here on that Monday, and we were like, well, we're going to do something different. We are going to hone in on our community, and we are going to try and make this something. We are going to try to make the community better in this way. We're going to do something to help the community. Cool. So if there's something that we can do in order to help the community in all of this, let's make sure that we can capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Like Val is a PA in the ER. She was one of the first people to get COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, she was one of the first people to see it. I didn't see Val after that Monday for 2 months.
Wow.
And that's shocking for us.
Yeah.
She's one of my best friends. So it's hard in that way.
Sure.
But we even to this day, we still make our to-go bags look like presents. We put tissue paper in it. We put black gloves on and did a black glove service. We did actually takeout. We'd never done takeout before.
Oh, okay.
Because it diminishes your quality.
Sure. Do you still now or no?
We do takeout.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do online orders. You can go to our website and do takeout, or you can come right up to the front counter and take out. But we did delivery.
Wow.
So within a 5-mile radius, you went onto our website and did that.
And you guys would deliver it yourselves?
I did
Not
the delivery.
like a DoorDash or something like that? Yeah.
DoorDash is hard.
Sure.
And I don't even like to order DoorDash.
Sure.
I want to go right to the restaurant and do it. And so I did all the delivery.
Okay.
And so I lost all of my staff because we gave everybody the option to be laid off and take that money.
Sure.
Or you can come in and not know if you're going to make money or not. Yeah. And so everybody took the layoff.
Yeah.
And so for the first week, it was me, and I think I had my chef, and then my chef was like, I can't do this, I'm out.
Yeah.
And
it's just too much, too chaotic, or?
Just didn't feel comfortable in the COVID.
Yeah.
And just the uncertainty. You just didn't know.
Fair.
I didn't blame him.
Sure.
And so then it was like, okay, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So then we could slowly, figure out what are we going to do. And then we would reach out to people and be like, hey, do you want to come back at this point and that? And some people wanted to and that. and we just tried to navigate from there.
Cool.
We really capitalized on the, it's called OTRs, on the rocks cocktails and stuff like that. So that was awesome because you could, the liquor
do those to go or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Liquor Control Board changed up their ruling on all of that and allowed you to sell drinks to go.
Can you still do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Some good came of COVID, it looks like.
I mean, look at our beautiful patio. We only got that because of COVID.
That's true. Yeah.
And then went to city council to fight to keep it.
Yeah.
So we get to keep it.
Yeah. And it's been cool. It's been cool to see the city's support for some of those things, you know, obviously over on Main here, you know, and some of the different businesses, how it's just all walking now. And, you know, it's a little tougher in the mornings, but you get used to it. And,
there's so many ways to navigate around that.
Yeah, it's true. So no, but it's been cool to see the city support some of those things and let you guys keep them because no, it's cool. So
yeah, I mean, I love that patio that we have, and people compliment it all the time, and we're always trying to do different things to it outside.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I got to go to Home Goods later. Get some different things.
Home Goods. I try to stay away from Home Goods. It's a dangerous place. Dangerous place.
Very dangerous.
Yeah. So very cool. Well, as we're kind of bringing things to a close and wrapping up, you know, talk to the community a little bit. Are there any things that you want people to know about, maybe upcoming events or specials or things that you're excited about that people can participate in and come be a part of what you guys are doing here at the cottage?
Well, like I said, we have our events that we have every day during the week. So Tuesday, Break Even Bottle, Wednesday, Wine Wednesday, Thursday, All Night Happy Hour, Friday and Saturday, live music. We've got May 18th. We've got a brunch pairing with LaCole. Tickets are on sale through our website.
Cool.
Some other things like that.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Madison, I really appreciate your time, especially taking some time on your day off-ish to chat and hang out. And so appreciate you spending the time and having the conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, and thank you for watching. As I said, this is the Bothell Neighbors in Business podcast. Hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you in the next one.